I'm Hannah.
And I'm Matt Hanna.
And this is Horror Hour with the Hannas.
And you're here because you need a movie to watch.
This is another installment of Movie Rec Monday, where we talk about a movie that we don't see posted at large in the film community, and we tell you why you should watch it. Spoiler free.
The film community is a funny way to put it.
I haven't seen anyone tweet about this. I haven't seen it come up on my TL without searching for
Yep.
it. Or Instagram.
You see it on Reddit.
Or TikTok. Or YouTube Shorts.
Are we in the film community?
Or Reddit. I haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
But I don't lurk there that much.
Okay.
So.
All right. What do you want me to watch? Oh, also, we should say I have not seen the movie that Hannah's presenting, so she's trying to sell me on it.
Yes.
And I'm more of a horror aficionado than you are, so.
I think I can sell you, but at the end, I do want your honest opinion if it sold you.
Okay.
So, we'll see. Okay, so I am recommending the movie Swallow. It is a 2019 horror movie, but it was released in the US in 2020. Written and directed by Carlo Mirabella-Davis, starring Haley Bennett.
Is it about birds?
No, it's not about
I was making a joke.
birds,
I know what it's about.
Swallows. The back of the box synopsis is Hunter, a newly pregnant housewife, finds herself increasingly compelled to consume dangerous objects. As her husband and his family tighten their control over her life, she must confront the dark secret behind her new obsession. So essentially, she has pica, which is a disorder in which a person eats things not usually considered edible, or not usually considered food. So common things that people with pica might consume would be like clay or soil. But in this movie, she eats things like tacks or jacks.
Pretty sure I saw this one on My Strange Addiction.
Yeah, I mean, My Strange Addiction has tons of people with pica.
Yeah, eating
Tons.
like their bed.
Someone was eating their mom's ashes.
Oh yeah, tasty.
Yeah, this one, she's eating things that, like, can cause your throat a lot of damage or your intestines a lot of damage. So, because of that, I would say it's a touch body horror, but its primary...
I'd say it's a little more than a touch body horror.
Yeah, but I'll get into why I'm saying a touch. But it's also considered psychological thriller horror.
Okay.
Why you might not have seen this is because in the US, it was supposed to have a theatrical release starting March 6th of 2020.
Oh, what happened then?
I wonder.
I remember we went out for St. Patrick's Day. What's this thing?
You shouldn't admit that. Okay,
no.
But to be fair, I will say I was still working in the community, and my job was like, you will keep doing this.
That was also like right as it was like, the world shut down. The world had not shut down yet, so I think it was fine.
It was 2 days later that my job said, actually, we were wrong.
We were all in the office
and I was like,
still.
well, okay. At least I had my moment, I guess.
I wouldn't have worried about it then. It was really fun. It was a good way to go out.
That's true. But it made like no money because theaters were a no-go. It tied for the highest grossing film in the US for the week of April 17th, 2020 through earning money at drive-ins. And that week, being the highest earning movie in the US, it had earned just $2,490 at drive-in theaters. So...
Can I say... I don't understand the point of drive-ins.
I love a drive-in.
The sound quality's worse. The picture quality's worse. It's for hanging out with your friends, right? It's like for a date.
Yeah, no, it's about the vibes.
I saw Inception at a drive-in, and
That's
it was like the worst experience. I didn't have a
movie.
choice. I was a kid. They're like, we're going to see this movie in a drive-in.
Well, that's dumb. No, we had a drive-in near us, and it always felt like this really fun, unique outing.
I'd go to see something I've already seen.
Yeah, I think I saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 at a drive-in because I'd already seen it in theaters.
Okay.
I feel like that's a decent drive-in.
Sure.
When I was little, I saw Princess Diaries 2 at the drive-in, and that was a monumental moment in my life. Like, that changed my life. Chris Pine. Everyone.
I'd be down if we could figure out the sound issue. Do they do it like with Bluetooth now? So I can actually have my car speakers?
Mine, the one I went to growing up, always, they did it. There was like a radio station you tuned into and it played through your car.
I remember there was ones where...
so you had to sit in your car.
Yeah. Okay.
But like, you basically can only have two people in the car though, then, because you can only see through like the front window.
We turn it around backwards and open the trunk up.
That's if you have that.
Oh, true. Yeah, SUV life.
Yeah.
SUV gang. All right.
Anyway. Yeah, so I thought that was just like a really fun fact about how little money it made. So that's why you haven't seen it. Bad release timing. But why you should see it is because obviously this is a movie that is touching on mental health inherently if it's covering Pica. And I think that the movie treats her mental health with a lot of nuance, and the film isn't passing judgment on Hunter for any struggles that she has with her mental health. And I think that that's honestly kind of rare sometimes to be able to have a film that's doing that and is able to elicit a variety of feelings, including fear, disgust, horror, but without passing judgment on her. And I think a lot of the fear, disgust, and horror, honestly, like, yes, it's because we're worried she's going to hurt herself by eating inedible things, but it also comes from the way other people are treating her before and after knowing about her diagnosis.
Do they actually refer to it as Pica in the movie?
Yeah, I believe that later she sees a professional in the movie and they refer to it as Pica, I believe. And what I think is interesting, too, is the writer and director, he based the film and the central character actually around his grandmother, who didn't have pica, but she had obsessive compulsive disorder. And she had been, like, in through treatment, had to go to an inpatient program and everything. And so I think he was kind of inspired by, like, how the world viewed her and treated her. And that's what inspired him to make this movie.
Very cool. So I was going to ask, is it actually scary? Because I feel like from the back of the box, it doesn't even sound like a horror. It sounds more like a drama.
So I think what is so scary about it, I would say I give it like a 1 out of 5.
Okay.
But I think it avoids pure body horror. I think if it tucked more into body horror, it would obviously be scarier because, like, watching people eat a tack is scary. Mm-hmm. But I think you were home when I watched this because you were working.
I watched a little. I saw a little bit of it.
Yell a couple times because I was like, "Oh my god, you can't eat that, Hunter! Oh my god!" So, like, in that way, it was scary to me. But I think what's scarier is the relationships that she's having with her husband and her husband's family. I think it's more like real life scary in how people treat both women in when they, like, try and instill a gender role, as well as how society can treat the mentally ill or people who might have a mental health diagnosis.
Got it. So is this movie, like, pretty straightforward, or is there some weird thing going on or something else that happens beyond just this interpersonal drama of her having this issue in dealing with the family?
It doesn't, no. It's pretty straightforward. Okay. I would say it does dive into, like, maybe psychologically some of the things that have happened in her past that might have led to her choosing this method of control or why she feels so out of control. But what I will note, like, from a mental health perspective, what I think is interesting, and a lot of times people who might have an eating disorder kind of say, like, I restrict or I overeat or I purge, whatever, because food is something I can control. Mm-hmm. And I will say for her, the film really is about her struggle for agency. And similarly, she uses food to have agency over herself. And in the movie, when they even try and restrict her agency and, like, what she's eating, you know, it, like, results in further psychological turmoil. So I really like it for that aspect, the way that it challenges gender norms and really shows, like, her battle to be not just the perfect woman or the perfect housewife.
Got it. Okay.
So I think all of that, I think it's, you know, at its core, a pretty feminist movie, and it has a really good representation of mental health, so I like it. And I do think that it could have gone overboard with the body horror, but I think that would have kind of changed what it was doing if it went too much into that. So I kind of liked that it was tamer in that regard, but still, like, pretty uncomfortable. I will say my caveat to giving it a 1 out of 5 for my scarometer is I do have like other friends like Olivia, who was on our Silence of the Lambs episode. I think she would have a lot harder of a time watching this movie because of the way that women are controlled and oppressed. So I think there are things like that obviously can vary from person to person.
Got it.
Or the way people are, judging her mental health. Like, I can understand that being a trigger for someone, but as a whole, I don't think it's using, like, a ton of blatant horror tropes that, like, non-horror people couldn't watch, if that makes sense.
Okay. So beyond, like, the mental health narrative and some of the theming in it, is there other stuff you like? Like, is it directed well, performances, things like that?
Yeah, I would say beyond just, like, the story and the potential, like, analysis of the film, I do really like the cinematography. I like the color grading of the movie. I do think it's a really pretty movie, all things considered. And, like, the production design, like, staging of the scenes, I like, because it very much, like, sets up their social status very well.
I like what you said about it being pretty, because that's how they get you. They want you to look at something that upsets you, like someone eating things, but when they make it look good, it's like your brain is conflicted. You know
that editing style, light and airy? Not necessarily what I would say, because I'd say Midsummer kind of is light and airy.
It is.
Like that photography style. I wouldn't say like the setting is necessarily that, but I feel like the people kind of have that like creamy skin tone editing. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, like the way the lighting is. But I also think the performances are good. I think Haley Bennett, who plays Hunter, is very like calm and subdued. And I think that kind of makes it even more tense and uncomfortable, that she is, like, she knows when to turn it on and off, I feel like.
What is she? Anything else I know? I don't think I recognize her.
The only thing I know her from is Music and Lyrics, the rom-com with Drew Barrymore.
So I don't know her. Okay. Yeah, I didn't recognize her name.
But critically, this movie has an 87% on Rotten Tomatoes with 141 reviews, so it was very well reviewed. Some critic quotes, I have a couple. This unsettling drama initially feels like a distant cousin to those numerous body horror films conceived by David Cronenberg, yet Swallow turns out to be more about emotional rather than physical anguish. And that was a review from Film Frenzy.
You know I love some Cronenberg.
Yeah, I thought that comparison would be appealing to people because obviously he is like a big name in the genre. But again, it like has, those pieces with the body horror, but like we've said, the story goes further than just needing that.
I kind of take issue with her quote a little bit.
Why?
Because she makes it sound like Cronenberg doesn't have emotional storytelling in his... And let me tell you, I've seen Crimes of the Future, and it's all about relationships and
I guess I haven't seen enough Cronenberg, but I don't hear people being like, wow, those emotional storylines. I exclusively hear about body horror.
No, I mean, he's got a lot. Yeah. It's much more than that, especially
Crimes of the obviously, Future. For someone to be like a prolific director, like he wouldn't just be icky.
Yeah. But he is icky, also. Mm-hmm. Okay, hit me with some more quotes.
Functioning as a warped fairy tale, Swallow poses provocative questions about the expectations imposed on women and the psychologically damaging effects of a patriarchal culture. That was Alan Jones of the Radio Times. So again, very much...
That fits pretty much everything you said.
Speaking to the theming and how it makes you question and evaluate. This kind of goes to some of the trigger warnings, I would say, content warnings for the film. Not necessarily that these are like the central focus of the film, but obviously relevant considering. This review says, Swallow explores the complexities of mental illness, abortion, and sexual assault with an empathy and humanity rarely afforded to these subjects in contemporary cinema. That was a review from Falker.
I like that review.
Yeah.
I think that review definitely made me more interested.
Why?
I don't know how to explain. I think that the way they... maybe it's because you spoiled some things that I think... To be honest, I wasn't understanding what the conflict of this movie was, other than the way the family was treating her. And I was like, we can't do that for 90 minutes. So now I know there's like even more to the controlling side than just the eating things. And I now understand the movie a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, obviously if someone is pregnant and starts eating things that could hurt them, you might be able to make some inferences about why.
Uh-huh. No, I think, yes.
So...
No, I see the picture of like...
It puts the picture together a lot better, and I think I like seeing these reviews that are fully acknowledging that these, touching on these subjects are done with grace and not heavy-handed in like a bad punchy way.
Mm-hmm.
So you can watch this movie for free on Hulu if you have it. That's where I watched it. It's also available for rent for $3.99 on Apple TV. It was available for rent a couple other places,
Apple
but those
TV's
are the primary streaming services.
It's all for $3.99.
Yeah, hate that.
It's not, I mean, honestly, it's so cheap compared to everything else. I played Putt Jack, and it's a 30-minute course, basically, and it's like $16.
Yeah,
you get a 90-minute movie, $4. Multiple people can watch it.
Yeah, and I think this is a very good feminist horror piece, and as a woman, I think you can tell from my Movie Rec Monday picks consistently that I very much appreciate a movie that touches on themes that I relate to and like are relevant to my life.
Raw was my pick. All right, so
I know, but then the rest of my
Raw was my pick. Raw was very feminist.
I agree. Yeah.
Coming of age, watch Raw. This is turned into the watch this, watch Raw.
Well, yeah, watch Swallow.
Yeah, I'm interested. I think it sounds... I was about to say fun. That was not the word I wanted to say.
It is not.
I feel like it's something that will upset me, but tell like fun. Fun. I can't help but say fun when talking about movies, because I feel like all movies, like Manchester by the Sea.
Not fun.
It's still fun, like, because it's a movie.
No. I'm going to put my foot down. We have to stop saying fun for not fun. It's not fun.
But the act of engaging with art, for me, is
with art, fun.
That's what I'm saying.
Sitting down and watching a hard-hitting movie like Raw or Midsummer, like the actual act of engaging in doing it.
Oh, I think Midsummer and Raw are fun. But I understand Manchester by the Sea, not fun, but engaging with the art is cool, and I like that, and it makes me happy. So it's fun.
I'm just gonna throw it out there: Manchester by the Sea, not horror.
It fucked me up more than.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe can be. Literally a depressive episode for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're not allowed to watch that movie anymore.
Yeah. Well, I've watched it since then.
And you're okay?
I
watched it.
I watched it for a class, actually. But
hell yeah.
Yeah, that broke me. This didn't break me that bad. You can handle it.
Okay.
Without a depressive episode, folks.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
No, just watch this movie.
Yeah, I'm down. All right. I have been Matt. Hanna.
I'm Hanna.
And this was Movie Rec Monday. Tune in for the next one to find another movie to watch.
Woo.
All right, bye.